Jumbo, Shalom, Baraka. Hope all is well, tribe. Know it's been a while. So today we're gonna talk about Boy Meets World. This is a sitcom that aired in 1993 all the way to May 2000. Now I'm gonna talk about certain things that I didn't notice as a kid, I guess, and the things that I noticed today, and just little subtle things as melanated people we should be alert to. So, for those that may or may not know about Boy Meets World and what it's about, I'll give you a brief backdrop. Corey, the one on the far left, is the main character. The one right next to him will be his best friend, Sean. This show is about basically childhood to adulthood. They were kids when they started, they ended basically grown people, or coming in the age of grown people, right? So throughout the course of the show, you see a couple of different characters, right? A couple of different characters are introduced throughout the series, throughout the show. So throughout the show, Topanga, who you see right next to Corey, that would be another main character. She would be the love interest of Corey Matthews throughout the entire show, the series of the show. They grew up together. They're all they have known, right, since childhood to adulthood. And they have all of the trials and tribulations that all relationships go through, right? Through the course of this show, it was very apparent that this was not a very diverse show, and there wasn't a lot of people of color on this show, and I don't think that it was tended for that, which is okay and fine because the show was geared to the audience it was geared to, right? They may have had a few episodes where they dealt with the system of racism, and I believe Corey's brother was dating some Oriental, some Asian, and they dealt with the situation of prejudice and the system of racism at hand, but it was very apparent that this show lacked a lot of color. So, of course, being in the 90s, you don't really talk too much about interracial relationships or anything of that matter, right? And then out of the blue, they read in Angela, the sister right here. I didn't really know how to take it because I was young, so I didn't know what I was really processing at the time. So for those that may have not have watched the show, seen the show, or heard of it, Angela would be the girlfriend of Sean, Corey's best friend, who we saw earlier, right? That was sitting right next to him. So the actress Trina McGee that plays Angela right here had this to say. Back in January, McGee, who played Angela Moore on the series, tweeted about her experience, writing that she was called Aunt Jemima on set. While Aunt Jemima is known as a brand of pancake mixes served to many, the figure is more commonly associated with Southern racism and the mammy caricature of black women, according to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. During the Civil War, the mammy was a stereotype that presented the idea that black women were happy as slaves and were content to being submissive. The mammy was often depicted as being overweight and also wearing a maid-like uniform. So after going over these pieces of information that we just heard in the tweet from Angela McGee, whichever one you prefer. It just seems that some people just become or choose to be ignorant to a lot of shit that they say and not really conscious or aware that, hey, me saying this N-word when I'm clearly not of African ancestry could hurt somebody that is from the African ancestry, right? Or descended from Africans. I don't think people truly understand how offensive certain words come across to certain people, right? And you could say it's being delicate and crybaby, all the typical shit that, the gaslighting shit that comes with being a melanated person in Americas. And it's sick and disgusting that we allow this as a melanated community and even participate in being the tokens and being the only melanated person in the cast of an all-white Caucasian show. I never understood that. Now, I didn't really see it then, but we're not all aware of shit, when you're young. And I don't think nobody was walking around saying, oh, I saw all this shit, I was woke. No. I say no, because we all have an Angela experience. And we all experienced something that had to do with another ethnic group, another nationality that we just wasn't quite educated on. Like, oh, I didn't know that they were disrespecting me, especially in this day and age and in time frame as we're talking about the 90s. McGee said her feelings were resurfacing in 2020 because she felt similarly uncomfortable on the Girl Meets World set several years before. In June of 2020, Fischel, please forgive me for butchering her name, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but hey, tweeted that she was the person who made McGee feel unwelcome on the spinoff set. I owe McGee an apology for being rude, cold, and distant when she was a guest star on Girl Meets World, also known as GMW. It has made us much closer, the things that have come out of those conversations, the tears that have been shed, the hugs that we've had, the closeness it has brought, has been some of my favorite moments of the last several years, Fischel said of the difficult talk she had with McGee and other cast members. Please forgive me for butchering that woman's name, Fischel. Is it Fischel? 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 I don't know. Whoever's seen this show maybe could let me know if I'm saying it. Maybe I could just see how it's pronounced, I guess. I don't know. But as you can see, the feelings that McGee had, Trina knew. Trina knew that she was being disrespected. She knew she was being degraded for the color of her skin and basically her culture and heritage. We, as Afro-Americans, we come from, that character, mammies and, the gold teeth and, the cooning, the tappity taps, the, how do you do, massa? All that shit, that's the history that's surrounded and engulfed in this country. And will it ever leave? I don't think it will, in my opinion. When you can all get together and look back at that and talk about it as adults, That's how you grow. He said, one of the few things that I'm so happy about is how close we are today. Everybody is closer now. Wow. So that was a quote by Will Friedle, or Fidel, the actor who played Corey Matthews' older brother, Eric Matthews. And he also said that he didn't realize what he was saying too during those times. You know, it was a little bit more free, if you will. Everything wasn't politically correct like it is today. You know, you have to have the political correctness and all that shit today. But I just wanted to put the tribe to this, if they may have heard of this, may not have. Just be aware of your surroundings and have some self-esteem and some pride as a melanated being, male or female. Right? Y'all be good, be safe. Shalom. Thank you.